This is a goal for many individuals that are in leadership roles. And I'm going to share with you in this video one of the skills that you absolutely have to master if you are trying to advance and elevate yourself as a leader. You can do all types of leadership development and taking assessments and courses and etc. But if you can't master this one skill, you will have a very hard time leading at a higher level. Which is why I hope you are watching this video. If you want to learn this one skill, in addition to three very, very great strategies that will help you be able to master this skill, then you definitely want to watch this video. If you like this content so far, feel free to like the video. It helps it to get out to more individuals so that more people just like you are able to elevate how they communicate and function as leaders. As I mentioned, there's a lot of things out here. There's a lot of topics here that are discussed on YouTube as it relates to leadership development. So in this video, I'm sharing with you over 20 years of experience from me personally as a C-suite executive, a director, and a manager, an executive coach, and a public speaker that will help you to fast track where you are in your career to get to that next level and stand out at a exceptional level compared to your peers. Now, this is a live video. There is typically a part in this video where things start to become a bit busy. So if you're watching this, you're watching the replay, and I appreciate you so much for spending a few moments out of your day with me today. There's usually a part in the video for lives on YouTube where people will start to join. So if you see me break away and acknowledge people that are being present on the live, give me just a few moments of your time. I do want to greet everyone that joins and says hello and be able to go into this one skill that you need to master if you're trying to lead at the highest level. Now, this video is not for individuals who are okay with being the average leader where you're doing the status quo and you're just relaxing and you're not really doing much. This video is for those individuals who are ready to elevate themselves as leaders. So if you're wanting to go to that next level as a leader, earn more income, do more amazing things in your career, and be that leader that stands out from everybody, then you absolutely want to watch this video until the end. So I want to say hello to Krishna. Hello, Krishna. Hi, how are you doing today? Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment about my hair. Thank you. Appreciate the emojis. Also, if you want to be at that higher level as a leader, this is the place for you to be. Feel free to subscribe to this channel if you like this content and if you really are serious. I mean, serious. This is only for serious individuals that want to go to that next level as leaders. You have to master this skill that I'm going to tell you, and you definitely want to watch this live until the end. So I want to say hello to Loren Soares. Hello, welcome. Let me know where you all are joining from in this big, beautiful world today. I want to say hello from whichever country you are joining from. Now that we've said hello to everyone, I'm waiting to see where everyone is joining from. Let me know if you have any questions specifically as it relates to this skill. Are you ready? The skill that you need to master as a leader, if you're really serious about going to that highest level of leadership, is to master how you manage yourself under pressure. This, by far, my leaders, is one of the most important skills you have to have if you are trying to go to that higher level in your leadership journey. Everyone that is at a lower level in leadership, they have a problem managing themselves under pressure. And I want to share with you right now, leadership comes out when you are managing a situation, a crisis under pressure. This is where the real leaders come through. And this is why you're watching this channel. So before I go into how you can manage yourself under pressure and master this one skill that will help you go to the highest level, let me say hello to whoever joined. All right, we have Nafaziza. Hello, if I said it incorrectly, I'm so sorry, friend. Hello, welcome. Muskan Mahato. Hello, welcome. Let me know where you are joining from today. And Loren Soares says to Mora. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Let me know if you have any questions about how you can start managing yourself as a leader under pressure because you need to master this particular skill. So let me share with you why this skill is important. If you look at any leaders, whether they are in an educational setting, whether they are maybe are perhaps world leaders of a country, maybe they're leaders of a a district, or they might be congressmen, congresswomen, depending on what they're called, prime ministers, presidents, etc., whatever country you are from, they have to manage themselves under pressure. And many people are not taught how to manage themselves as leaders under pressure, especially in a public setting when all eyes are literally on you. If you can master this skill, you will lead at a higher level because this skill here is one of the most important skills you have to master. You have to learn how to be able to manage yourself under pressure as a leader. Now, I'm going to share with you some strategies that you can do that I've done for over the past 20 years as a C suite executive, a manager, and a director that will help you to start managing yourself under pressure. Are you ready? So get a pen, get a paper, write these down. If you can showcase and master yourself as a leader under pressure, you will automatically lead at the high level and you will automatically stand out from your peers. The first thing that you need to do if you're trying to master this skill, let's say maybe you have this skill and you're just not very good at it yet. You're not good at managing yourself under pressure. You kind of crumble under pressure. It stresses you out. You just don't know how to get past this. Well, let me know in the comments below. First of all, if this has ever happened to you. This has happened to everybody that's a leader, but the more you learn about it, which is why hopefully you subscribe to this channel, the better you will become at managing these situations. Now, the first thing you need to do if you're trying to master this skill and manage yourself under pressure as a leader to go to that highest level is to know your triggers. So what do I mean by this? You might be wondering, what do you mean know your triggers? Triggers are for different things. No. The reason why many people struggle with handling themselves as leaders under pressure is because they do not know their triggers. There are certain things, there are certain conversations, there are certain words that cause us to go into a panic state. I don't care who you are, we all, every one of us, as leaders and even as individuals, have our triggers. I have my triggers. Everyone has triggers just like everybody else. Therefore, if you can take some time to understand what your triggers are, then I will be able to let you know how they can really impact you. Now, before I go into triggers a bit more, let me go into the chat and see what's going on. All right, Lauren Suarez, hello, hello. I know you're saying something in, it might be, I don't know which language you're from, but it looks like it's probably Spanish for the most part because I understand some Spanish. So let me know what you're saying. Let me know where you're joining from in this big, beautiful world today. And if you have any questions as it relates to how to master yourself as a leader under pressure. All right, we have Dawson Resnake. Hello, 23. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Dawson said, "Can I get a shout out? My brother just died." Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Well, I really wish you, just the utmost condolences. Sorry to hear about your brother passing away. I really appreciate you sharing that. And I appreciate you just spending time with me today. I know you could have been doing many other things today, Dawson, and I know that's really challenging. I can only imagine what you're going through right now. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. If you have any questions, as it relates to just anything leadership related or anything for that matter, feel free to let me know. I'm here to support you, and I'm really sorry to hear about your brother passing away, and I appreciate you letting me know. And that's your shout out, hopefully. But let me know if you need anything. Now, I mentioned that you have to learn how to manage your triggers. And before I go into managing triggers, Loran says, I believe this is Instagram. So absolutely. I have Instagram. I am at Xlight Excellence on Instagram. On LinkedIn, I am at Dr. Jacinta Lamenta. So feel free to find me there. But most of my time, all the magic happens here on YouTube. So subscribe. All right, Dawson said, thanks for the support. Where can I donate money to you? Oh, well, thank you, Dawson. You have to be at a a certain level on your YouTube journey to have donations. I appreciate that. That's so very kind of you. I am a smaller channel, but we'll be growing big very soon. So for now, Dawson, just whatever I can do to support you. Don't worry about donating money or anything like that. I appreciate you just for being here, especially after your brother passing away. So don't worry about donating money. I'm not there yet, but nonetheless, I'm just glad that you're here. Alrighty, so let's go into what you need to do. You need to know your triggers. Okay, so take some time and figure out what are those words, what are those phrases, what are those situations that make you mad, that will make you mad to a very high level that is very hard for you to control your emotions. Now, if you are not sure what those are, then that's what a one-on-one coaching setting is for, is to help you determine what are those triggers. Because if you're trying to manage your emotions and manage yourself under pressure as a leader, you have to know what your triggers are. Why? Because if you know what your triggers are, then when those topics come up, when those words come up, then you can be able to develop your, I would say, templated responses to those specific type of words or triggers that come up. Now, this is something that a lot of times people do not know how to do. They don't know how to manage themselves under pressure, and they just feel stressed because they're just not sure how to do it. So this is a way for you to literally, I'm giving you my roadmap in terms of how I manage myself under pressure. And I've done it many times as a C-suite executive, a director, and a manager. I've dealt with very friendly situations and very contentious situations. And the contentious situations are where real leadership comes out. So you want to make sure you're prepared for it. So know what your triggers are. What are your trigger words? What are those situations, those topics that really, really start to bother you? Now, the second strategy I want to share with you in terms of how we can start helping you to master this skill, to master how you manage yourself under pressure as a leader, is to figure out what is the best way that allows you to manage your stress. Now, remember, the very first strategy I shared with you to manage yourself under pressure as a leader, to go to that highest level, is you have to know your triggers. What are they? And then when you figure out what your triggers are, make sure that you are at a place where you know what they are and you develop your templated responses for those triggers. Now, when it comes to how you manage stress, this is something that is very, very deeply personal. And all of these things I'm sharing with you are personal to you. I am helping you as an executive coach to really start thinking about them. This is exactly what I do in a one-on-one setting with my clients. But because we are on YouTube, I want to help you all as many as you can, even if you're not my client. So these are questions you have to really reflect on, you personally, to help you move forward. Now, your way of managing stress could be different than my way of managing stress. Everybody has stress. If someone says they don't have stress, then they're completely not being honest with you. We all have things that happen that stress us. It's just a matter of how do we manage our stress. So let me give you an example. For me personally, I tend to try to be more optimistic as it relates to being able to manage situations. When there's a stressful situation that happens to me personally, I will automatically go into C-suite mode. And C-suite executive mode means I'm thinking, what's the problem? How can I fix it? Now, I have several videos here on my YouTube channel that talk about managing your emotions under pressure, what to say under pressure, and a lot of things under pressure and under stress. So feel free to take some time to watch some of my lives and learn more about those type of situations and what you can do. But for me personally, I have to go into C-suite executive mode where I'm just like, what's the problem? I have to fix it. That's the first thing, because I have to gather data. I have to gather data. If I don't know information, if I don't know what's going on, I can't make a decision. I can't manage myself under pressure. One of the things that I like to do is I like to keep a positive, optimistic mindset. Now, there's times when things happen where it's not positive and it's not optimistic. This is life. This happens to the best of us. But I try to put myself in a higher mindset, a higher vibration, a higher frequency that you hear a lot of people on YouTube talk about, to really elevate themselves to that higher level. And the way you keep yourself in a higher frequency is to really make sure you are working on yourself every single day in terms of what's going on between your ears. You have to really think about yourself in terms of how can you move forward? What are the things that you personally need to do to help you manage stress? Do you need to go exercise? Do you need to think of something that makes you feel happy? Do you need to talk to someone? Maybe you, as a leader, don't have time to talk to someone, especially if it's a crisis situation. You don't have time to sit there and say, hey, friend, I'm having a crisis. No, as a leader, you're going to have to make a decision like that. So you may not have that time. If you don't have that time, that's completely okay. You have to develop some internal mechanism in terms of how do you, as a leader, manage stress. Now, there's a lot of different things out there. As I mentioned, for me, I try to keep myself in a very optimistic, very high frequency, high vibration type of environment. The way that I do this, there's a lot of things that I do, and I have no problem telling you all what I do to help me be at that higher level. This is what I'm sharing with you. One of the things that I do is I'm very, 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 very selective about what I say to myself. When those stressful situations come up, I'm not speaking negatively to myself. I'm not going to do that. If I feel a negative thought, I immediately think, let me think of something positive. I do this because I found that once we get there, and getting there means when you get to that negative state where you're just, things are bad, right? Things are not where they want to be. It really does impact us just physically and mentally, and it makes us feel not at a high place of where we want to be. Other things that I do is I personally, for me, to help manage my stress, is I do a lot of visualization. So if I have certain things, certain items that I really care very deeply about, or opportunities that I'm very, very much focused on, I truly try to close my eyes. That's what I do personally. You don't have to, but I really do envision that environment, whatever it is that I need to be in. So if I'm in a stressful situation and I'm having to handle a crisis, I am thinking about a non-stressful situation in my mind and taking a few moments just to close my eyes and to really visualize it. Another thing that I personally have done in the past, and I still do this actually to this day, is I watch a lot of people here on YouTube. Believe it or not, there is a person on YouTube that I personally watch, and I feel like has some good content, and his name is Brian Scott. Obviously not affiliated with the channel, but has some really good like manifestation type of talks that you can review and watch, activation, etc. They're all very helpful to get you in that right mental state. And these are the ways that I personally manage pressure. This is what I do every single day. And so I hope that this helps you all when you're managing yourself under pressure as leaders. This is what I personally do. Now, before I go into the very last strategy, number 3, in terms of how you can master the one skill, and that one skill for those of you who have just joined is being able to handle yourself under pressure as a leader. Let me say hello to who joined in the chat. All right, we have Stanislas. I'm sorry if I did not say that correctly. I feel like I probably did not say that correctly. So I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're here today. Thank you so much for joining. Let me know where you're joining from, and if you have any questions as it relates to how you can manage yourself under pressure as a leader. Now, I've shared with you 2 strategies that have helped me and have helped my clients to manage ourselves under pressure as leaders so that we can lead at that highest level. Are you ready? Are you all ready for the third one? Are you? Let me know in the comments below if you're ready. And also let me know in the comments below if you've ever experienced anything under pressure. And also, what are some of those strategies that you personally do to manage your stress? What are some things that you do to manage your stress when you have a very high pressure situation happen? Put it in the comments below. Let me know. I will take a look at all of my comments on my videos, especially if you are watching the replay or watching the live. Now, the third strategy that is very important if you're trying to master yourself as a leader under pressure and you're trying to lead at that higher level. Remember, at the beginning, you have to be able to manage yourself under pressure. There's no way to go around it. If you're trying to be a leader, you're trying to go to that higher level in leadership, this is a non-negotiable. You have to learn how to manage yourself under pressure. And if you need some help with it, you can contact me for an executive strategy session. And let's talk about where you are, what we can do, and how I can support you to get to that level. The third and final strategy I want to share with you this evening, there's a lot more, but I want to at least give you 3, would be to focus on how you communicate under pressure. Now, I have several videos on my channel that talk about communicating under pressure, confidence under pressure, and etc. So watch my live videos. But what I want to highlight in this strategy specifically is that how you communicate really does matter as a leader, especially when you're under pressure. As leaders, people are watching us all of the time, and especially they are going to be watching you when you are under pressure. Everyone's eyes are zeroed in on the leader. What is the leader going to do? How you communicate during those crisis situations is very, 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 very important. You want to communicate in a very calm voice that allows people to understand what's going on. They need to know what's going on, but not in a way that instills panic. Now, if there's a situation going on where there's a fire in the building or there's something else happening where people really need to feel your energy, like we need to get out of here now, then absolutely that voice should go up and people have to feel your energy. They have to feel how serious this is. This is a skill that many leaders struggle with, even if they have been leaders for years or decades. People struggle with this, and this is the reason why I talk about it, is because I want you, as someone who is watching my content or subscribe to my channel, I want you to communicate and be that leader that is at the highest level, because we need leaders just like you, those exceptional leaders in the world today. And my mission is to help as many of you be at that level. My main audience is working with women in leadership, but on my channel and on many of my platforms, I have men in leadership that are here also. And I just appreciate all audiences, because leadership, regardless of gender, is leadership. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. These skills that I'm sharing with you are what will help you to be that leader that is set apart, that stands out, that is exceptional compared to everyone else. And if you like it, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is a great time for you to do so. But communicating in a very calm way is very important as a leader, especially when you're in those very high stakes, high pressured crisis situations. Sometimes as leaders, it's hard to do that, correct? It is very difficult. The reason why it's hard is because those first two strategies I mentioned to you earlier have probably not been checked, or they have probably not been established. And for those of you who are just joining, we're talking about how you can master this one skill. And the one skill that you have to have if you are trying to communicate, if you're trying to master that highest level of leadership, is how you manage yourself under pressure. We just talked about how you communicate under pressure. This is what most people think of immediately when they think of under pressure, is how you communicate. What do I say? How do I say it? When do I say it? Who do I say it to? This is important, but there's a reason why, my leaders. I told you this is number 3. This was not number 1. Even though I'm very heavily focused on communication and communicating at that highest level, notice how I did not say how you communicate under pressure was number 1. That's not the number 1 strategy to help you manage yourself under pressure. The strategies that I mentioned, strategy 1 and strategy 2, and if you're joining live, feel free to watch the replay. We talk about this a bit more in detail, but I'm going to go over it very quickly. Strategy 1 is you have to know your triggers. What are your triggers? What are the things that make you mad? There's no other way to say it. What are the things, what are the topics, what are the discussions, what are the talking points that make you mad? What are they? We all have them. You don't have to put them in the comments unless you want to, but take some. Sorry, my audio went out, so I don't know if the video cut off or it stopped. I'm sorry. For some reason on YouTube Live, sometimes my audio goes out and the video goes out. But anyways, as I was mentioning, knowing your triggers, we all have triggers. What are your triggers? You need to write them down, because these are the topics that will prevent you from thinking in a rational, logical way. Everybody has them, and you need to know what yours are. The second strategy was to make sure that you have a way that you manage stress. Whatever it is, you may have some type of exercises that you do, or whatever it is specifically that will help you. I shared personally what I do to help myself when I'm in those situations where I'm very stressed. I do a lot of visualization. I do just visualization is key for me, and I really go into C-suite executive mode. I'm just like decisive. This is what I have to do. This is what the problem is. I got to fix it. Why is it stressing me out? And sometimes I've done that in the past, If I have a situation that happens that throws me off guard, because it happens to all of us, I think before I respond, why is this stressing me out? What about this is stressing me out? And this allows me as an executive coach to coach myself to figure out what is this trigger that I was not aware that I had. And oftentimes, as we are developing and aging as adults, things that we think are our triggers may not be our triggers. It may be something that you had no idea that triggered you. And therefore, that's the reason why you definitely want to try to find out what those are. If you want to really get some support with that, you're not quite sure, then reach out to me for an executive strategy session. This is something that for any individual that is a leader, that is in those very high stakes, high pressure situations, you are very much at the forefront in terms of visibility and how you manage yourself under pressure is what will set you apart from someone who is just starting their leadership journey to someone who has maybe been a leader for a long time that hasn't mastered the skill to that person who is leading at the highest level and is that exceptional leader. This will set you apart from everyone. There's plenty of people, leaders that are out there that have been in leadership roles for decades and they cannot manage how they react and how they communicate under pressure. Now, there's times when you need to strategically use your energy and use how you communicate to elevate your voice, to lower your voice, to bring more emphasis to a situation. There's times strategically when you need to do that. Now, that is something that we talk a bit more about in the Real Executive Woman, which is my transformative leadership program that I have for women in leadership. We talk a bit more about when you strategically need to do situations like that. Now, if you are at a place where this information was helpful to you, then feel free to like this video. It allows it to go out to more individuals, and I appreciate all of you for just being present and just coming in and joining. I appreciate you all for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you all for asking questions and being just engaged in the process. I really, truly appreciate your support, and I'm really looking forward to being able to help you on your journey. So let me know in the comments below, what are some topics, maybe some situations that you have experienced as leaders that you want some support with. Maybe there's a topic that you have dealt with and you really didn't know how to manage it, or there might be something that you're just struggling with and you've been struggling with it for a long time and you just need to figure out how can I get over it. Then let me know in the comments below. I will help you be able to elevate to that next level of your leadership journey. And it starts with how you communicate. As I say on my channel, all the time, people become great by the way they communicate. So if you can communicate at that higher level than your peers, then you will automatically be that person that stands out from everyone else. So I hope this information has been helpful to you. Feel free to check out my other live videos on this channel as they talk about communicating under pressure. I have a lot of great information here. There's some items and some topics here, especially as it relates to executive presence, that will help you showcase yourself as that exceptional leader that many people on YouTube are not talking about in detail. So you're at the right place. I appreciate you for being here and watching this entire live video today. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.